is Revelations 13 and 15. It says, and he had power to give life to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark or the name of the beast and the number of his name. Alright, prior to getting started, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and salutations to your Akim, the full ones, pushing truth and sincerity and diligence. Shalom, shalom. Alright, as you can see, it's going to be another in transit through the Spirit Power by Shemel Shah, right? And basically centered around more AI talk, Esau's agenda, right? To mingle man with machine, right? And link you to his technology, right? Or what he would call an upgrade, right? They actually came out with a movie, what was called Upgrade, but he would upgrade you by linking you to his system. Right, and I got an article that I'm gonna read. Right, basically going into what the AI technology and the manipulation of the Neuralink shit. That Esau is trying to push out. Right, but I started with that Revelations the 13th chapter. Right, to say is that this devil, he's gonna come with his technology. Right, to hijack the creation of Yahweh Shemel Shah, man, right? And this is going to be a physical thing, right? This isn't spiritual. This isn't a tattoo or nothing. This is nothing outside of but a seer, right? This is going to be something physical that's going to be implemented under the flesh. You see, that's going to link you and tie you into this devil's technology, where he's going to have total control, right? He's going to have total access, right, to you, right? Now, the article is titled, right, it's from January 3rd, 2025. It says, so this year, it says, brain implants, the erosion of prophecy. Are our thoughts safe from manipulation? You see, and when I believe like last year, probably like a couple years ago, like 2-3 years back, probably like 2 years ago, right? Neuralink, when they came out and they was talking about how they want to have, they'll be able to. At first, I believe it was trials to like kind of pick up like on to know what somebody's feeling in their thoughts based off of the brain waves or something along those lines, man. You see, but now we're seeing that, he's no longer hiding his wickedness, man. He's pushing and showing that soon he's going to come down to the point where he's going to want to physically enter into your temple, man. You see, he's going to want to physically enter into you, and he's going to hijack the creation of the Most High, like we said, man. Right? This is his main goal. His main goal is to tie you to his technology, right? To taint you, to have total control over you and your life, right? And the things that you think, your emotions, how you feel, what so on and so forth. He wants to be like the Most High. He wants to be a power, right? But the scripture says that what? It's that the Egyptians are but men and not gods, man. So this devil is feeble, right? He's the most feeble, right? And Salaki for the rant, right? I'm going to just read a little bit of this article, and we're going to grab a couple scriptures, right? After reading a little bit of this article, right? So it says brain implants and the erosion of prophecy. And bear with me because I'm driving, I'm trying to read this but still focus on the road. It says, are our thoughts safe from manipulation? It says Elon Musk Neuralink successfully implanted its first brain seal in a human patient, aiming to enable telepathic communication and treat neurological disorders. Though the technology's long-term implication remains uncertain. You see, and this is what he's going to deceive the masses with, by the means of those miracles that he's going to perform, by being able to say, oh, this person walked again, or the blind can see, or whatever, right? He's going to come, with his technology, with the miracles of his technology. He's going to deceive the masses to where people are going to really get down with this, man. You see, especially with Musk, like it opened up with Elon Musk, we see him being put, in power with DJ Trump. So we see where everything is headed and what everything is leading to, man. Right? So we're really in exciting times. These are high exciting times, man. Right? Because we understand and know that through the implementation of this devil's new system and his charagma, right? When he pushes that and he mandates that, hey man, we on our way out of here. So, we're in the spirit of rejoicing. It says brain stimulation experiments date back decades, and researchers using electrodes, right, to induce pleasure. This was the point that caught my eye, is that it says they're able to induce, they use electrodes, right, the little shit that they kind of like stick to your mind, like to your brain and shit like that. But it says to induce pleasure, control behavior, and manage pain, raising significant ethical concerns about human intervention and biology. You see, so he's able to, he's going to have it to the point to where he can control these things, where he can, that movie Upgrade, man, if brothers ain't never seen it, where AI completely took over that individual, but all in all was that it could control this, it would talk to him, like he would be the only one that could hear it, control his movements, and it would, like, he can be like, he can let it take over, and it would fucking kill people, shoot the gun, and do shit that he couldn't even do. So this is to the point to where this devil just, he just put it out there, right? He's no longer hiding that shit, man, right? But it says, Neuralink first patient, it says initially controlled the computer cursor with his thoughts, but the device's effectiveness declined after months due to thread retention, prompting plans for deeper implementation and future trials. The technology poses risk of misuse, including potential government and corporate manipulation of thoughts. So when you read down, they got a human hacking part that they want to talk about, that we're going to read, right? And basically where, the big wigs of society is able to manipulate your thoughts, man, right? To basically throw away your prophecy, right? It says, but the device effectiveness declined after a month due to thread retention, prompting plans for deeper implementation and future trials. All right, so like I read that. The technology poses a risk of misuse, including potential government or corporate manipulation of thoughts, unequal access, creating a class divide, and vulnerability to hacking or failure. Experts emphasize the brain's complexity and urging it says careful consideration of the ethical, societal, and long-term consequences of such invasive technological advancements. Now, it's all about his technological advancements, and when has this devil ever gave a fuck about the long-term consequences of anything that he does? He never gave a fuck about long-term consequences. Like right now, they got an article coming out about everyone that received that jab, and basically how it I probably do a video on it, basically how it's backfiring, and you got all these people. It's like a virus reactivator. Like it prones you and opens you up to all of the bullshit that he's pumping out into society, man. You see, so everyone that's got that is all fucked up and out of whack. So this devil never gave two fucks about long-term consequences, right? He just do, right? That's what he's always been about, just doing, right? And getting his way by deceiving the simple with lying words, right? Matter of fact, let's get this. This is Isaiah. This is Isaiah 32. Matter of fact, let me get in the blue letter, so like. This is Isaiah 32 and verse 7. It It says the instruments also of the churl are evil. It says he devised wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak it right. So you got the men of the Lord that are out giving you this warning, right, through Spring Prophet Yahweh Shah, what this devil is going to do. But he's going to demonize those men, right, the men that's on the highways ahead just speaking this truth, the true doctrine of Yahweh Shah, right. We will be persecuted. We're going to be demonized, right, for giving this warning. But it says, when you read in the NLT, it says the smooth tricks of squanderers are evil. They plot crooked schemes. So this is crooked schemes and plots and all manners of deceitfulness that this devil is conjuring up, which he will get a lot of people. Now, when you go into that churl, it basically means churl means to what? Act niggardly, right? So it says, in a sense, withholding niggardly. You see, so this devil is really, he's a real niggard, right? It says, but the liberal deviseth liberal things, but by liberal things shall he stand, right? See, so everything that this devil is going to push out, right, he's going to get his way by lying words and deceit. Now, he won't get every goddamn body, because the Lord have, the Lord have called to himself an elect number, right, of individuals that won't bow down and won't receive of this devil's mark, right, but yet have that mark of exemption, right, that the wall that exempt from judgment. You see? So all in all, what we're seeing is that this devil is how can I put it? By false pretenses is he going to get his way, by false miracles and sorceries, right? He's gonna have his way for a while, right? He's going to utilize his AI technology to be the Godhead of his society, and he's going to use that to trick and confuse, right, the masses to believe and trust in his new world order, man. You see, by the miracles and the things that he's going to be able to perform, by those sorceries, like it talks about in Revelation, the 18th chapter, right? This is Revelations. Let's get it. Bear with me. Revelations 18 and verse 23. It says, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. It says, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. It says, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth. It says, for all thy sorceries were all nations deceived. You see, so by his sorceries will all the nations and everyone is going to be deceived by these things, man. Because when you think about it, I know I got family members now. Everybody got somebody in a family that's suffering from something, man. Right? Everybody got somebody that's suffering from something, right? And this is what he's going to use. He's going to capitalize off of that, man. Right? He's going to make that shit seem like the biggest shit, right? Ultimately, and like when we read in the Revelation 13, you're not going to be able to operate in society, right, if you don't have his Karagim, man. You see, he says that he's going to kill those that denounce it, right, for one. And for two, it says you won't be able to buy or sell, right? So you won't be able to operate in society unless you're tied to his technology, right? If you're not tied to his if you're not bonded into his system, man, right? So with everybody having somebody in their family that has some kind of neurological or physical disability or something that Esau can push off as if he can aid, they gonna receive this level C here, man. You see, they gonna bow down, they gonna get down with the program because they gonna believe in what they're seeing. You see, but the scripture says that we're not ignorant to Satan's devices. We know exactly what this leads to, man. The indignation of Yahweh Shemel Shai, right? Because what are you doing? What the scripture says, that master say if that servant say he will not go out freely, then the master will come and bore the ear of that servant, right? So he's coming to brand you, right, with his technology, right, to signify ownership. You see, and by you receiving that, you're signifying who's your God, who's your power, who you give authority over you, who are you bowing down to. You see? And it's so plain and simple, right? There's no way to miss it, right? Because like I said earlier, right, he's declaring his wickedness, like it tells in the book of Sirach, the 14th chapter, the 5th verse, right? He declares his wickedness. He's not hiding this shit. He's putting it out on the mainstream media articles. He's speaking about it, right? Openly as he's speaking about it, because he's getting to the point to where he's finna come down, man. He's finna come down and he's finna push it, right? Even you got Kill Gates, right? He got this whole it's an article too. Matter of fact, I go to this article and I'm gonna read a little bit on it, because he got this whole genocidal fucking mass scheme, mad scientist plan to fucking juice up all of the cattle to reduce the population of billions of people, man. Right? Matter of fact, let's get that article real quick. Right here, it says genocide, Kill Gates to mRNA. You know, the V word, all cows, goats, and sheep. It says, but never animals they don't eat. So animals that you don't eat, right, you're not gonna fuck with. So in the case of, in the case of us, he ain't, if he know what we don't eat, he ain't gonna fuck with it. That shows he's showing you his wicked. He's showing you his horns. He wants to kill you, man. It says, animals they don't eat. It says, so what's the methane emission goal again? It says questioning. This is what it says. It says questioning animal, what the word is? Flatulency. Yeah. It says the text raises concerns about the flatulency, of various wild animals, and question why Kill Gates isn't V word them if they're contributing to global warming. So it says selective vax juice. I'm gonna say jump shot. It says it argues that Gates only juices up animals that people, and it sucks that I gotta talk like that, but it says that people in Africa, India, and America eat. It says rather than all animals, suggesting sinister motives. Genocide through mRNA altered food. The text claims that Kill Gates wants to kill off minority populations by contaminating the food and animals they consume with spike proteins of the mRNA jump shot without directly injecting humans. So he's getting it to the point where he don't have to physically get you niggas to get the jab. He could just put it in the food and watch you niggas waste away. So like we saying, he's putting it out there and letting it be known that what, nigga, it's full on attack. You see? And like the scripture said in the book of Jeremiah 50, is that Judah and Israel will be oppressed together. That was the prophecy, right? And through that prophecy, we will also be gathered together, right? Not only oppressed together, but we will be gathered together by the word of Yahweh Shemel. That's why you got brothers coming from the different tribes, right? Calling upon the names of Yahweh Shemel Shai, but we will be delivered out of this place. It says, even in Babylon, there will ye be delivered. You see? So let me jump back to the other article right quick, right? And read on it's a part I have wanted, brain hacking, right? So it says brain hacking. Imagine a world where the government and corporations could access and manipulate the thoughts of individuals, right? Because this is what, is coming to. This is dystopian implication or straight out of a science fiction novel. It says, yet they are not far-fetched in an era where prophecy is already under siege. It says the idea of our innermost thoughts being vulnerable to external control is deeply unsettling, and it should be unsettling unto you, right? But the masses have gotten into bed with this devil, and they're going to continue to lay in the bed with him, and they're going to continue to be deceived by him, man, right? So what we're understanding and what it comes to the grips is that we need Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. We need salvation. We need up out of here, right? Because by his counterfeit power and signs, right? Matter of fact, it says that in the NLT, in Second Thess, right? This is Second Thessalonians, right? The Old Faithful. This is what we go to right here to show you this is what he's coming to do. This is Second Thessalonians 2 and verse 8. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So this devil is being exposed by, and he's already being consumed by the spirit of the Lord's mouth, because the spirit of his mouth is his holy prophets, right? Which is cussing this devil out, exposing this devil, exposing him his agenda, who he is, what he is, and his judgment, right? Which we just read, whom the Lord will destroy at the brightness of his coming. So we understand who the Lord is going to, bring down and cast down when he returns. It says, even him whose coming is after working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Like we said earlier, lying wonders. When you read in the NLT, it says this man, right, this Satan-like individual, it says this man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. So he's, that shit that he finna pump out gonna work, right? But it's all under the pretense of falsehood, man, and left-handed practice. But the Lord, right, he won't, like it said, he will let until he be taken out of the way. So the Lord is going to allow this to go on only for a split second, right? Because if not, the scripture says that there will be no flesh left to be saved. So the Lord had to shorten that time and shorten those days, man. At least we all be fucking tainted and upgraded and be around this motherfucker fucked up off of his technology, man. You see? But the prophets, right, the men of the Lord are given that warning to tell the masses to basically giving that warning ahead of the confusion, right? Because it's indeed confusion, and like the scripture says in Isaiah the 25th chapter, the 7th verse, that he will take away from among our people the covering cast, right? The veil that will put over their eyes, right? And that's by the prophets being out, speaking his truth. And that's why it's pivotal. That's why it's important, right? It's very important to do the works of Yahweh Shai, man, to push out these videos, man, to give that warning, sounding that trumpet, sounding that alarm in the Lord's holy mountain, right? Because not only is this devil coming with his technology, right, but the Lord is coming with a great destruction, a great slaughtering. Like it tells in the book of Obadiah 1:8, it says he will destroy the wise men and eat them by slaughter. Right? Let's get that. Obadiah 1. Oh shit, I'm opening up the bank account. This is Obadiah, OBD. Slakia, OBD 1. This is Obadiah 1 and verse 8. Shall I not in that day, said the Lord, Yahweh Shai, even destroy the wise men out of Edom? Right? It says, in understanding out of the mount of Esau. So all of the power and the wisdom that this devil thinks he has, and the pride that he accumulated over the years and the time, the Lord is going to destroy that, man. Right? It says, and thy mighty men, O Teman, also Edomites, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter, man. When you read the NLT, it say may be cut down by slaughter because of the violence you did to your close relatives in Israel. But when you read it in regular verses, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever, man. Right? It talks about how thou slanders thy own mother's son. Right? He's the accuser of thy brethren is cast down. He accused us day and night before our power. Right? This devil, right, for all of his deeds, right, he's gonna be slaughtered, man. You see? It goes along with Isaiah 49, where the scripture says that the Lord will contend, right? He will let's get that. Isaiah 49 and 26. This is what we're reading. This is how the Lord is going to defend us, right? Because we're going to be defended and protected from, this devil's his agenda. This Isaiah 49 and 26, it says in 25. It says, but thus said Yahweh Shai, even the captive of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. For I will contend with him that contended with thee, and I will save thy children. So the Lord is going to deliver us and our children if we continue to walk in the ways that is pleasing before him. He said that I'm going to contend, right? When you read in NLT, it says, I will fight for those fight you. I will fight those who fight you. So contend going into what? Our adversary, our enemy, right? Our opponent, Esau, Edom, man. We ain't got to fight this devil. Hey, the Lord gonna fight this devil, man. The Lord is gonna have, because hey, the scripture says that our weapons of warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the pulling down of strongholds. You see? So we're not carnal. We're not grabbing up arms, shooting guns at this devil. No, we're not doing none of that, man. We're waiting and trusting in our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, who's able to deliver, right? Whose hand is not far that he can't save, right? The scripture says in the book of Jeremiah 30:16 that all of thine adversary, every one of them, shall go into captivity. So we know exactly how this is going to play out. We just got to have patience and faith in these moments that we're soon to enter into, man. And that's rightfully so, man. Right? This devil gotta go. This nigga crazy. Right? And I'm gonna end it off with this. This is Habakkuk 2, real quick. Let me get to it. This is Habakkuk 2 and verse 4. It says, behold, his soul that which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. So the soul of this devil, this nigga is not upright, man. Right? This devil gotta go. Right? But you know, that wickedness had to be sown. The scriptures talk about how the earth is greatly polluted with wickedness, but it's another one. It talks about how the world hastens to pass away, but bitterness and wickedness is in the earth, right? But all of this is in the earth through this devil, through Esau, Edom ruling in his power structure. But the scriptures tells us that in order for righteousness to be sown, the wickedness have to be uprooted out. You're paraphrasing that scripture, right? It says, then cannot that come which springeth up with good. So we understand that this place will be uprooted. You know, so Lord will not pray this, lest was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Bashim, give double honor to the apostle, elders, great males, to teach well, and peace and salutation to your occupant, focus, Christians, truth, and sincerity, and diligence. Until next time, shalom. This is Revelations 13 and 15.